This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Archie Sharpshooter Sharp over Zoom. Archie, first and foremost, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, just a brief chat off camera there, but for everybody who is going to watch, how have you found lockdown so far?
Yeah, so it's been all right, really, mate. It's been a bit frustrating, obviously not fighting, but I've enjoyed the time with the kids and the family. So to be honest, I think it's flown past.
What have you been doing kind of training-wise, or what have you been able to do training-wise, knowing you can't go to the gym up until, what was it, a week ago? I think it was announced everyone can return.
Yeah, so I've got a bag indoors, so I've been doing the punch bag, been doing my circuits, a bit of strength work, running, bike work. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to keep as active as possible, really.
I just mentioned there, obviously gyms opened back up a week ago, I believe it was. Have you been back in the gym now? Are you kind of starting to try to tick over a bit?
Yeah, so I'm back in the gym, mate. I'm back in. I believe we can go back to sparring now, but so yeah, I'm back. I'm back in the gym training, pads, bags, circuits. So yeah, I'm back at it now, full swing.
What kind of plans did you have in place before lockdown came about? Because obviously you just said off camera, you fought last in December on the Dubois card. What did you have kind of lined up before lockdown came in?
So I was looking at fighting on the 14th. Is it the April show on the Joyce and the bar? I was supposed to be fighting on that. I had a tough Argentinian fighter who I was supposed to be boxing. But yeah, obviously this has happened. So ideally, I'll have had that fight and then move on to hopefully fight the winner of Frampton and Jamel Herring for the WBO. But we're in a different situation now.
What kind of discussions have you had with Frank since then? What has he said to you about how he can see the coming months playing out for you and obviously MTK?
I think so. Ideally, just getting back in the ring. That's the most important thing is getting back active, getting back fighting. So I'm hoping there'll be a show very soon. So we can get back in the ring and push on. I don't know about what's going to happen with Jamel and Cole now, whether it'll be at the end of this year or maybe next year. So it's a bit frustrating, but just got to keep my finger on the pulse, and it won't be long.
We'll come on to obviously Jamal and your standing with WBO and Carl and what have you in a minute, but just to keep with yourself and the current situation, what's kind of your plans with regards to behind closed door shows? Have you, as Frank said, when he's going to look to put on shows, and what are your thoughts on boxing without fans there?
So he hasn't given me no dates. There's no dates been set. He just kind of said to keep yourself ready for maybe end of July, early August. So I'm hoping maybe there'll be a show there. I know America's back active with their fights now, so I look forward to it at the end of the day. Regarding fans, obviously I'm an entertainer. This is what I do for the fans. So it's going to be a lot different not having the fans there, but it's just another hurdle that I've got to jump over, and ain't just me, it'll be the opposition as well. And a great athlete can turn it on whether there's fans there or no fans there at the end of the day. So yeah, I look forward to it. Either way, I just want to get back active and keep climbing the WBO rankings and put myself in a mandatory position.
Before I will come on to WBO positions, what have you, in the next question, but just final one on all things that are going on at the minute. You mentioned America's brought back some shows. Have you been tuning in and watching them? If so, what have been your thoughts?
I haven't watched them. I watched Shakur Stevenson's fight the other day. Obviously, because I've heard say he's coming up to the super featherweight, so that'd be interesting. That's a fight that I like to look at myself. So yeah, I watched that. It looked a bit different, a lot different, really, should I say? People standing back, face masks. But it is what it is. You just got to get on with what you got to do in front of you, really.
When I've spoken to people, they've either said you'll have fighters who will come out and perform better than what they would in front of crowds, and you'll have other fighters who may struggle because they don't have the extra push that a crowd can give them. How do you think you'll react when you're in the ring?
Do you know what? I don't know. It'll be a lot more relaxed for me. I think it's a lot more relaxed. So it'll be interesting. To be honest with you, me and my trainer was talking about this when this was first announced. It'd be very interesting to see if you see a better side of me or not, because I love the fans and I love the cheering, I love everything. But Like I said, very interesting because the thing is, I haven't got the fans there to like go me on to get into a fight or anything like that. So it'll be purely boxing, and I think, and it'll be more. I'll have to be more strict to my boxing. So that I won't feel like you have to. Sometimes when you're boxing, if it goes a bit quiet, you feel like you've got to engage. You know what I mean? Keep the fans busy. Sometimes you do find yourself falling in that trap, even though you shouldn't. But it does happen. It just naturally does.
You're obviously very highly ranked with the WBO. Being in the position you are in, do you feel a pressure when you do enter a ring, knowing you're so close to fighting and challenging for a world title, that one slip up and it kind of knocks you back down, maybe 2-3 fights once again?
Yeah, of course. I think you're always going to get that pressure, especially now. Like I'm on the verge of it, so it is basically about being clever and because I want the fights out, especially now you can only have UK fights. So the fights that I want are for me to gain position and maybe more belts. But the likes of them sort of fights are going to be Kakachi's, the Zelfa Barretts, and they're not really going to be a behind closed door fight. I don't think so. Anyway, I think them sort of fights will be. Frank will wait until we can get the fans in, I suppose.
Something I was going to ask, if you obviously go behind closed doors and you have another fight now in the meantime, whilst you wait to see what happens between Herring and Frampton, if that fight was to go ahead, how do you gauge what type of level of opposition to fight? Do you go in there with the likes of Alpha Barrett, Anthony Kakachis, who are very ambitious themselves, or do you have to kind of go for someone a bit below their level so you don't take as many risks, knowing that's the world title opportunity is just around the corner? How do you gauge what type of fight to put yourself in?
Well, that's what I mean. It's a very frustrating position to be in because, like you say, it's about risk management because anything can happen. A fight's a fight at the end of the day, injuries, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I believe every fight I go into, I'm there to win. I don't believe there's a fighter out there to beat me. But you've obviously got to weigh up your risk management and yeah, you got to be clever with what sort of fights. Not because you're avoiding them, but like you say, you're so close on the verge. Once you get your world titles, then you can do what you want as you please. I'm only 25, just turned 25, so I'm still young. I'm in a very good position, very fortunate. I've got a great team. So it's just about making. I'll leave it. To be honest, I'll just leave it with MTK. I leave it with MTK to make the decision. And Frank, they ring me and they tell me. That I mean, they put it on the table and they tell me what they advise me to do. Because as a fighter, any fights Frank or MTK come with, I'm like, yes, I love it. But then it's down for my management, my team, and my trainer to put my best interest first and not ego.
Let's crack on to that world scene. And what are your thoughts on Jamel Herring, obviously the WBO world champion? How highly do you rate him?
Yeah, I think Jamel's a great champion. Very good fighter. Very good. Like I say, I watched him I was there at the Excel in the London Olympics. So I believe he was captain then actually for the USA team. So yeah, he's a very good, very experienced, great amateur pedigree. So great champion, very good champion, and a very rangy, tall southpaw.
There was obviously a lot of talk about that Frampton fight. It was very close to being announced by all accounts up until lockdown came in. You obviously said, you're kind of waiting to see what happens there. What are your thoughts if Jamel and Carl do meet post-lockdown?
So I believe that Jamel beats Carl just on the basis of height. He's a very, very tall, awkward fighter for Carl. I don't think Carl's a massive sort of featherweight. Great champion, don't get me wrong. A lot of respect for Carl, always has been, and there's nothing but respect there for Carl. I believe he's a great champion, but I just think on that night against that fighter, I do believe that Jamel will just be that bit better and win on points.
There is that that possible chance that if that fight was to happen, it would be either towards the end of this year, maybe early next year. When do you think it could be that we see yourself in there challenging for a form or a version of a world title, most likely being the WBO because of your rankings?
Well, I'm hoping very soon. Like I say, I'm training, especially now I can get back to sparring. So I'm keeping my finger on the pulse. I'm ready for these big fights. I want these big fights. So I'm hoping very soon. It's just politics. That's the thing in boxing. There's a lot of politics here. So I've just got to be patient and wait, and hopefully it'll come very soon.
What do you make of the other world champions in the division? You've obviously got Miguel Berchelt, Santa Cruz, and Joseph Diaz. Who do you feel is the best or the toughest world champion?
See, that's the thing. The super featherweight division is unbelievable. It's absolutely flying. You've got some great fighters out there. Obviously, Jose Diaz beating Tevin Farmer on their last outing. So he's a great fighter, very tough. But I do believe that Birchler he's a big super featherweight. He's massive, and I think he's out of all of the super featherweights, I think he'll be the toughest fight.
You obviously mentioned that there's the possible chance in the meantime you have to face British fighters. You got the likes of Barrett, who's granted he's just signed with Eddie Hearn, so it may be a bit more difficult to make, but also Anthony Kakachi, who holds that British title. Are you interested in the British title? Because I know in the past you said you'd like to fight for it if you could, but it wasn't something that you was concerned for. You had your ambitions to go for a world title, which was your main ambition. What are your thoughts on Kakachi? If a fight was there, would you take it?
Yeah, like I've said, they've offered me fights have been spoken about with Kakachi. But like I say, there's a reward that I want and a figure. So if they can match the figure and the reward that I want, for example, boxing Kakachi for the right money and then guaranteeing me a world title shot after, then of course there's no reason why these fights can't happen. I will fight anybody in the super featherweight division. That's not a problem at all. There's no fighter that I avoid, no fighter that I'm afraid of. I'll fight anyone, and MTK and Frank know that for sure as well. But it's just about, listen, I've got family, I've got kids, and you put your life on the line really when you get in the ring. It's such a dangerous sport, so I want the right rewards for them for the big fights.
What were your thoughts when Anthony defeated Sam Bowen? Many saw that as obviously a surprise at the time, and Sam was the favourite heading into it.
Obviously, I backed Kakachi. There's loads of interviews out there that backs that as well. That I said Kakachi will punch Bowen's face in for him, which he did. And he was inactive at the time as well. So an active fighter would have, probably really hurt Sam. So it's fortunate that Kakachi was out for 2 years.
Another man I mentioned there, Zelfa Barrett. Obviously, it would be a little bit more difficult to make with you both being under different promotional banners now. But what are your thoughts on Zelfa? Is it something, again, I know you're going to say you'd be interested in it if it was the right deal, but what are your thoughts on Zelfa as a fighter and his comeback since his defeat to Ronnie Clark?
Yeah, he's done. I was on a Zoom call with him and Coogan actually,
okay. And
yeah, I think he's come on tremendous since that Ronnie Clark fight. He's done very well, and like I said on the Zoom call, me and Zelfa, if he understands I'm on my path, like I say, I'm a stone throw away from the WBO world title shot. He's obviously got his plans and his path, so he'll be doing what he's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'll go and collect the world title, bring it back to the UK. And if he's still there and doing big things, then there's no reason why these fights won't happen. Do you know what I mean? So the best will fight the best at the end of the day.
Archie, before I let you go, we're trying to get your thoughts on a couple of other things. Starting off with what was a big announcement last week. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have agreed financial terms in principle for a 2-fight deal in 2021. When you saw that, Archie, what was your thoughts?
Over the moon. Now Fury can finally show up AJ for what he really is. And he's going to make him look very, very, very average.
How do you think the fight plays out between the pair? Do you think AJ offers more of a threat than what Deontay Wilder does, or do you think Wilder is a bigger threat than AJ?
I think Wilder's a bigger threat because no one knows what Wilder's going to do. He's literally wild. Whereas AJ, I don't know, man. I just feel like I've said it from day one. I've said it from literally, like I say, when he boxed Dylan White, sorry. I backed White to win. So I've never been a major fan of AJ, but I believe that Fury is literally going to school him, to be honest with you.
Archie, we will leave that there now, and I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Before I let you go, though, what would you like to say to everyone who tunes in to watch our interview?
I just hope everyone's well, everyone's keeping safe. I can't wait to get back in the ring and put a major show on for everyone. But in the meantime, just stick to what everyone's got to be doing with the COVID-19 situation, and we'll all be through this very, very soon. And like I said, I look forward to putting a major show on for you when I'm back in the ring. And stay safe, everyone, and God bless.
Archie, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. Stay safe yourself. Thank you for your time, and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
No, thank you for having me on. I much appreciate it. Thank you.